Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning we're visiting with Kristin Hildabrand. She's the Warren County Extension Agent for Horticulture. Good morning, Kristin.
Good morning, Joanna.
Now, Kristin, fall, when we think of fall, we think of pumpkins and apples.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're going to talk about it because there's so many apple varieties out there that you might get confused on which one you need to pick.
Yes, exactly. So consumers have, the variety of all the different apples, and there's been a lot of breeding done on those apples. Like I was reading, it said that there's like over 500 different varieties, and they're pretty much offered throughout the United States. And so what you find in the grocery store is going to be a little bit different from what you find here in Kentucky. And so I highly encourage you to get out and visit some orchards. It's a lot of fun right now, especially, people might be staying a little bit closer to home, and they're looking for different activities, and what great way to support our Kentucky producers. And there's a lot of activities around the apples too, so you can find different events at those orchards. And the fun part that I find is tasting all the different apples, because there's a lot of variety, not only in the colors of the apples that you can find, but also in the taste and the eating quality of your apple. So most of the time, the genetics and the breeding that's been done behind it is that they want something crisp, and they want something as soon as you bite into it, then it's going to have a lot of flavor. It's going to be really, really juicy. So that's how that they've actually made a lot of different crosses with some different apple varieties, so that way that they're constantly adding some new varieties each and every year. And a lot of people really like the taste of Honeycrisp apples. And I've heard even Bill Jackson say, Honeycrisp is something that's highly sought after because of the taste, but the tree doesn't do as well, and it doesn't seem to perform as well as some of these other varieties.
And that's probably why when you go to the grocery store or even to the orchard, that it demands a premium.
Yeah, there's definitely a different price difference when you start looking at Honeycrisp apples. So just kind of keep that in mind. But we have a lot of unique varieties here in Kentucky that you can actually select from. And really the apples kind of start, end of around July for some of the earlier summer eating apples. And then they go all throughout the fall season. And if they have a really good storage life, you'll find it all the way, they'll store up to November and December. So a couple of the ones that I liked to mention first, some of the ones that are really good for eating are Gala and Fuji. Basically, you can just eat them as a snack or add them to some salads. They just have a really good eating quality, and they do have some sweetness about them too. Now, there's other varieties that will do really good for baking. Jonathan is one that will do really good in any kind of, whether it be baked apple for pie or a fried pie, anything like that, it'll make a good baking apple. And there's some other ones that you can find even throughout the season as well. One of the varieties that I found at another orchard that's kind of in the south central Kentucky area is PIXIE Crunch. And it is really almost like a Gala. It actually comes in a little bit later than what the Gala apple does, but PIXIE Crunch has a little bit of a unique coloring to it. It's got, more of a dark red mixed in with a little bit of green to it, and the taste is a lot like Gala. So it's a pretty sweet eating apple, and if you're interested in growing it here in Kentucky, it's one of the ones that we recommend for a backyard setting as well. So PIXIE Crunch is gaining a little bit of popularity on both fronts, but we found it at that retail orchard too. There's other ones that you can find. So there's Brayburn, another one that's called Mutsu. That has an interesting name to it, but it's a really interesting apple. There's also Cameo, and then there's also some golden kind of looking type apples that you can find. Ozark Gold is one, and even Ginger Gold and Grimes Golden. But there's a lot of other different varieties that you can check out. There's a Liberty apple and an Enterprise apple that also works really good for a homeowner setting if you want to grow it in your backyard. And then there's also some older type standards that you can find, like Yellow Delicious, Golden Delicious, even Red Delicious. And then MACINTOSH is one of those older types that's been around for a while.
So go out, visit that orchard, buy enough to store for the next several months, because it's still going to be a fresher apple than you would purchase in the grocery store.
Yeah, as soon as you bite into it, it's going to be just so good and really crispy and juicy at the same time.
All right, Kristin, well, appreciate the information. And if you have questions about apple varieties, make sure to contact your local extension office. Thanks for watching and have a great day.